swing and a miss. The 1-2 pitch, and it's swing and a miss. Trammell swing. Here's the 0-2. Curve got him. Strike 3. There's a.
Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and of course, please subscribe to this channel and like this video, and leave comments in the comment section, and just let me know what you think. The Mets are in a very tough race right now for this division. The Mets over the last 27 games are 18-9, which is .667 baseball. They only have a game and a half lead in front of the Braves. The Braves are playing basically 800 baseball over the last 2 months. How the Mets have been able to hold them off is an amazing feat by the Mets, quite frankly. But don't panic. I know a lot of people, the Mets lose a game, people start to panic. And we know the Mets lost 2 in a row to the Yankees, but they played really well in Philadelphia. This was a very difficult road trip that they had. And we got less than 40 games left to go to finish up this great season. And we'll see where we are at. Let's have a tough road ahead. So, I'm going to keep that going, and we'll see what happens. But here we go. I like to talk about a lot of different things that are going to happen in the future. Like who the Mets are going to sign in the future, who they're going to trade for in the future. The Mets minor leagues. I have another video on the Mets minor leagues coming up. I have another video on, believe it or not, Michael Conforto. But here's an article from Sports Illustrated that I think you should be interested in. And I'll put this link into the description if you haven't read this. So Sports Illustrated says, should the New York Mets sign Justin Verlander in the offseason? And it's written by Pat Ragazzo. And it begins like this. The Mets have a number of key pending free agents after the season, including Jacob deGrom, Chris Bassett, Carlos Carrasco, and Taijuan Walker. Given the fact that the 38-year-old Max Scherzer has 2 more years left on his deal, the Mets must spend money to put a winning team on the field during this window. So if deGrom truly winds up leaving the Mets, its GM, Billy Appler, in the front office can ultimately pivot towards another aging starter who, like Scherzer, is still one of the most elite arms in the game. And I would point out this. Even if the Mets sign deGrom, go at the Verlander anyway. Verlander basically missed 2 full seasons after undergoing Tommy John. But he's come back this year to post a stunning 16-3 record, 1.87 ERA. And I would mention he's probably going to win the Cy Young. So that'll be 3 Cy Youngs for him in his very great career. As for deGrom, it's difficult to see. We don't need to care about that. Although Verlander is 39, he's a future Hall of Fame and still pitching at an extremely high level with no signs of slowing down. He will likely command a similar deal to what Scherzer received from the Mets back in November. 3 years at $130 million with a record-setting $49 million AAV. So, I wouldn't have a problem signing him anyway. Because he can still do it. He can still pitch great. That guy is one of the great pitchers in the history of the game. And he and Scherzer are going back and forth on who's on the strikeout list. So it'll be interesting to see how much he probably has a lot left. I mean, you know, he had the Tommy John surgery late. The guy knows how to pitch, and he's a great competitor. Let's go over some of his career and go over his numbers for this season. Won the MVP, 2 times Cy Young Award. That's going to be 3. Rookie of the Year. He's won the Triple Crown. That's wins, ERA, and strikeouts in the year. 9-time All-Star ERA title. 2017 World Series champion, ALCS MVP, Major League Player of the Year. Let's go through his stats on Baseball Reference. So his real big year was in 2011. He was 24-5 with 2.4 ERA, and he won the Cy Young. That's his first Cy Young. The second one was 3 years ago in 2019 with the Astros. So he spent his career with 2 teams, the Tigers and the Astros. So let's go through his numbers. Now, he missed all of last year because of Tommy John. And he only pitched 1 game in 2020. So he's missed a long time, but he's come back raring and ready to go. He's 16-3. I would think that he'll probably win 20 games again. I can't see why that would not be the case. And he's leading the American League in wins. He's leading the American League in ERA. I don't know where he's in strikeouts. His ERA plus 2.06. and his WARs on Baseball Reference is 4.6. So he's really been very effective for the Astros, and he's really done a great job. And to see this great pitcher pitch as well as he has, he's not let up in terms of his ability to be on a very high level for the Astros. Is an incredible thing. Let me go do something which I saw interesting, which I thought was interesting. His walks per 9 innings. Over his career, prior to him coming to the Astros, it was 2.7 walks per 9 innings. Since he has been with the Astros beginning in 2017, his walks per 9 inning is 1.6. This is like on the level of Bartolo Colon and Brett Saberhagen in terms of walks per 9 innings. This guy doesn't walk anybody anymore. And early on in his career, he was pretty wild though early on in his career, if I remember right. I'll tell you some of the numbers, some of the high numbers that he had. 2018 is his worst year, 3.9 walks per 9 innings. You know, so he's really, in terms of learning how to pitch, how to throw strikes when he needs to, he's able and capable of doing that, even at his older age of 39 years old. I would think he'd probably want a 3-year deal from some team on the level that the article says of Max Scherzer. I think that's pretty fair. And let's go. He's got 242 wins. So this is after this year. He's going to push for 300. I would think that he'll want to pitch until he hits 300. And we haven't had a 300 winner in a long time. I think he might be a guy that might push for that. I mean, he probably has a few years left, probably another 3 years left in his arm until he completely breaks down. But he has a lot of innings on him. That, keep that in mind, over 3,000 innings. But he's going to push for 300. No doubt in my mind he's going to do that. Obviously, with his injuries over the last few years, last year in particular, he's behind in terms of winning, in terms of winning games. So that's got to be taken into account. Let me just see something real quick. I want to see what he did in 2019. See how he was as a Cy Young Award winner. Let's take a look. Now, of course, please like this video and subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Always got to keep an eye out for live streams. Keep your eye out for these different videos, these short videos that I post. It's sort of like YouTube's version of TikTok. And it could be anything. I want to have like a real variety there. So please be patient if it comes up on your feed. And you can like it, dislike it, as long as you watch it. This is a little snow. Okay, you go. Let's see. 2019. His wins above replacement in 2019 was 7.4. So and it wasn't even the highest of the league that year. The highest was Mike Minor of the Texas Rangers, which was 8.0, and he came in 8th. But Verlander that year was 21-6, pitched 223 innings for the Houston Astros, and struck out 300 batters, 42 walks. His WHIP was 0.803. Jacob deGrom, in comparison, who was with the Mets and won in 2019, his WHIP was 0.971. Unbelievable how much better he was than deGrom. But I would point out he pitched 2 more games than deGrom. deGrom had an injury that year, and he pitched 20 more innings. So, but still, that's still pretty good. And the walk total was comparable. If not, it was actually better than deGrom's. And the hits, about the same. So, basically very similar seasons. Only difference here is Verlander gave up 36 home runs, and he still had an ERA at 3.25, 2.58. Amazing. Well, hopefully we'll get an idea where he goes. This is a guy that pitches well on the big stage. It'll be interesting to see if he gets a big contract. Are the Rangers going to pony up on that? He's been with the Rangers a few years. I don't know his mentality about moving into a big city, a really big city. Houston's not New York. Obviously, with his wife having connections here, Do they want to be here on a regular basis with the team and with the big team and with the family? I don't know. So, well, anyway, let me know what you think about this video. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. This will be for after the after the World Series. Hopefully, we get a World Series championship here, and we'll see where Verlander goes, and hopefully, it's somewhere not in the National League. So, thank you, and I'll see you later.